What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? If you're watching this, you know, after it's recorded, let me just change my screen so I can show you guys what I'm looking at. This morning, this is the trade that I literally just got out of. Literally. That's the trade that I just took. It was a little scary when it was down here because right around this time, price started to push down. And for me, I had entered late already. I had really entered late. So I'm already, because mind you, let me go back just a little bit. I had already entered, let's start over here. Okay, I had already entered here. So this looks like a really, really wide stop loss. Usually I'm used to entering around somewhere here, right? So price started going, and then it got to this level and it started going down and down and down. And then I was like, oh boy, here we go. And it's getting close to 930, right? But then as you can see, as soon as price kind of like hit that level, right? Like when 930 hit, it started going upwards. So we're good. We might find another position already. You know what I mean? So that's fire. So yeah, man, just waiting for some people to get into this live and we are going to turn up. We're going to turn up. Gotta turn up, baby. I'm kidding. I'm not I'm not flexing. It's for a different purpose. But yeah, I just happen to be counting some cash or whatever. But anyways, yeah, so I'm just waiting for some people to get in. We're gonna do a nice breakdown. We're gonna look at what happened this morning, how we could take advantage of it. This is good for me because then now I don't have to kill myself for the rest of the week. I can kind of take it easy and really be picky with my setups. So let's see how it goes. All right, Mr. R said nice, bro. Fire. Yo, Mr. R, welcome to the stream, baby. Good to have you here. Hope you guys are having a great time trading. Hope you guys are having an awesome time trading. We're going to talk about how this went today, and we're going to see if we can still catch some moves, guys. It's still early in the day, early in the week. You never know if we can make some more money. If we make good money like today, we're done for the week. You know what I mean? So we could chill out and relax and just have a great time. Plus, I got a little... I want to say surprise, but I'm working on a little something for people who have been making certain requests. So we are going to see how it goes. What's up? K-Dot, what's good, baby? Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to the live. Good to have you guys back. It's going to be a great week. I'm planning to have as much engagement. Heart, ZFX said, nice. Welcome, Heart, or ZFX. I don't know what you want me to call you, but welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you here. I think you're new, so if you're new, welcome to the family. Join the Discord. Let me see if I can put the Discord in there. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to pin this. Okay, join the Discord and join the family. But yeah, man, we are going to, you guys, I'm not gonna be here this week. At some point, not this week, next week, I'll be on vacation with the wife. So I'm trying my best to spend as much time with you guys as possible and be as engaging as I can this week, so that, you know what I mean, we can have some good memories before I take off, because I'll be gone for a bit. But I'm still working on some stuff and some things to put out there for you guys so that you guys can, still have something to watch and stuff while I'm gone. So wish me luck. Wish me luck. We made some money, people. We made some money. Wait, no, hold on. There's more. We made some money, people. We made some money. We made some money. So it's a good morning. It's a good morning. Guys, it's just, I'm not flexing. It's just a joke. Okay, don't take me seriously. That money is purposed for something else. It just happened to be on my table. All right. But we made some money this morning. So I'm just waiting for a couple more people to kind of get in here, and then I'll start doing the breakdown. But I would love to hear how you guys' week is going so far. How was the weekend? Did you guys get some good rest? Did you get to spend time with some family, some loved ones? Did you do anything interesting? Let me know. So we're going to do this breakdown real soon. I'm just kind of waiting for price to maybe get to or time to get to maybe 9:45, because the first 15 minutes of the New York Open kind of determines everything else. Okay, we're kind of in this zone here. I'm going to explain to you guys how I got into these areas before, and how I executed on this trade. All right, some days are good, some days not so good. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, let's get active in the chat. What's going on, people? What's going on? Talk to me. Let's not be strangers. K-Dot, you're not new. I think Mr. R, I'm not sure if you're new either. You seem familiar, but I could be wrong. The only person I can kind of let slide is Heart ZFX. But everyone else, what's going on? This is the trade that I took this morning. I'm going to break it down very soon. Just waiting for the 15-minute candle to close so that we can get, a little bit more confirmation. I'm anticipating that we may get another like entry, right? So you never know. It's Monday. The reason why I knew Monday was gonna pop off too is because there's no news today. Hard if I said the weekend was amazing, already up 4% on gold. Welcome to the club, baby. That's what's up. I'm really happy to hear when a lot of you guys are like, killing it. Like the other day, we had somebody in the chat who was doing like 13%. Might have been Bob actually. Welcome, Bob. What's good, Bob? He said, I'm late. Man, you good. You go. We just started. I'm going to be breaking down this trade soon in about 6 minutes. But I was asking everybody how their weekend was, how trading's been so far. And Heart ZFX said that this weekend was amazing. He's already up 4% on gold. That's fire. Let's take a look at gold real quick. Hey, yo, Mozart's in the building. He said, hey, what up, brother? How was your weekend? My weekend was good, brother. Can't complain. Like I was explaining to everybody else, I'm going away at the end of this week for a week. So I'm really trying to chop it up with you guys, have some stuff out there for you guys so that when I go, you guys are still entertained, and I'm still going to try and engage with you guys. But weekend was amazing. As you guys are aware, it's my wife's birthday soon. So I was trying to get her some gifts, try to get her a Porsche. We're still working on that. Went to go test drive it. It went nice and everything, but the deal itself wasn't great. So we're still working on numbers there. But I did take her yesterday to get a really cool gift as well. And stuff like that. So my weekend was great. How about you guys, man? Bob FX said today is going to be good testing out ACG now. Perfect. Yeah. I'm kind of working with ACG as well. Not like working with them. I'm also trying out their stuff as well. So we'll see how that goes. Ryuzaki said, I'm late to see you in action. You done for the day? Yeah, maybe. I was telling everybody that I might actually enter another position. We'll see, depending on what price gives me, Nas US 30 gives me, but we might get in for another trade. But it's almost, I'm going to be doing this breakdown, by the way, guys, in about 4 minutes, so just bear with me. I'm just waiting for the 15-minute candle to close. Once I get a close on the 15-minute, I can kind of have a good idea of what's going on for the day, things of that nature. And then I'm going to break down my trade and show you guys how I enter this position. Candle momentum was good, baby. He said, yo, people, was good. Candle momentum, good to have you back. Good to have all you guys back. Mozart, Bob, I think Mr. R was here before. K-Dot was definitely here before. Ryuzaki, all you guys, I think I see you in the Discord as well. So shout out to all of y'all. Good to see you guys. I'm excited to see you guys. Now it's so crazy because now I'm like, bro, I can't wait to stream, with the buddies, bro. Can't wait to stream, guys, and make some money. Make some money. Stream and make some money, baby. This is going to something else, guys. It's not a flex. It just happened to be on my desk, but I think it's so hilarious. But yeah, we're going to make some money and have fun, guys. Just have a good time. People have been asking for me to do something with Forex as well. So I'm going to be starting a live series. I'm thinking about it and I'm setting things up, but I think I should be able to start soon a live series where I'm going to try trading my strategy on Forex with a account, with like a challenge account. So it's not going to be like demo or just back testing. Like we're going to be trying this in live market. So, and I've kind of already decided on a pair. So this is going to be fire. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm super excited. Ryuzaki put up some flames. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. We have a breakdown in about 3 minutes. For those of you who are new, if you're new to the chat, say what up. We have the best people in the entire community. Everyone's gonna heal you up. Everyone's gonna shout you out and help you out if you have any questions. So if you're new to the chat, if you're new to the family, say what up so that everybody can know you, and we could chop it up from there. But we got, again, 3 more minutes or so, or let me see how many. Oh, the next candle just hit. So we got 2 more minutes, and I'm gonna be doing a breakdown, guys, of what I was looking at this morning to get into this trade, and how I had a little bit of a heart attack a little bit during this trade. K-Dot's asking, before that, Bob Fix it, what's the pair? Because that's all I trade. This pair here, this is US 30. Or are you asking, Forex? I think he's saying that's all he trades, Forex. The pair I'm thinking of, so guys, remember last week I asked you guys what pairs do most of you guys trade? There was GU, there was EU, and there was Euro JPY. And I think I'm going to do Euro JPY, to be honest. GU, I have friends that trade GU. It's cool. It's a bit of it's a US pair, kind of, correlated pair. So it's cool, not too bad. Then you have EU. EU is kind of slow for me. It was the first pair that I got introduced to. And I have experience with both of those too. Because again, I have friends that trade that. So I've kind of seen a bit of it. But I looked at UJ and I'm like, this is an interesting pair. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just looked at it and I thought maybe this would be really, really good to try this out and give it a shot on. So that's the pair I'm thinking of. I think K Dot was asking the same question, what pair? Candle Momentous said, hope everyone a profitable week, guys. Thank you so much, Candle. I definitely pray that we all have a profitable week as well. Heart ZFX said, I hope it's gold. I'll be doing gold too. Don't worry. I might be doing like one commodity and one forex pair. So and gold is obviously the one that I'm gonna go with. So I might try gold as well. And then Bob FX said, nah, you should try GJ. It's the best. It's the fastest one out of them all. I know GJ is a bit of a monster, but I don't know, man. When I just look at GJ and the way it moves and stuff, I don't know. There's this. So for those of you who don't know me, everything I do is based off of my personality. I just can tell when certain things are gonna work for me and certain things are gonna. I don't know about GJ. It might in the future. Maybe after we do UJ, it might work. You know what I mean? But GJ so far, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, and that's kind of the whole point of all this. So for those of you guys who are recommending other pairs, when we're doing this Forex challenge, some days we might say, oh, you know what? UJ's not the only one. GJ's looking better today, and we might take it on GJ. So it's going to be a bit interactive. It's not just going to be me trying. It's going to be like, guys, this is what we're looking at. What do you guys think? Buy, sell, and it's going to be fun, man. We're gonna have a good time. Bob said, like it moves good fast. Yeah, no, I've seen GJ in action. I tried GJ one time when I was trading with the 5%ers, one time. And there are some times, especially during London session, because I used to trade London session at the time, where GJ would just take off and really do some crazy things. But it was very choppy for me. I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't trade it for long. Mr. R said, bro, any thoughts on Maven Trading Prop? I saw their reviews and prices are good. I'm looking forward to buying the challenge from them. I think Marcus Adrian has either a review or ideas about that. For Maven, I personally haven't tried it. I do have some general thoughts, but I try not to give my thoughts on something I haven't personally tried because I feel like it's a bit disingenuous. Because if I go and say, yeah, Maven is good and I haven't traded with them, I'm essentially kind of lying to you. How do I know, right? If it's based off of what I'm seeing, I could have just directed you to the site. So I don't want to really give my opinions on that right now. I would say, unfortunately, do your research. Maybe we can look at it in this live, maybe look at it, analyze it, and see if, from my standpoint, if there's any red flags. But as of right now, I don't really have an answer for you, bro. Sorry. Mozart said, I trade the daily time frame on Forex and day trade futures. Forex moves slow, so I just take profits monthly. But for my adrenaline rush, I trade futures. Yo, exactly. Futures, bro. That's why I said I almost had a heart attack this morning, because futures, man. Futures are just, I trade futures as well. I trade indices. I don't do Forex, but I'm gonna try for you guys. But yeah, anyways, it's 9:46. So I'm gonna do the breakdown. But yeah, futures, to be honest, futures doesn't give me as much of a heart attack as indices, only because with futures, once I lock in my contracts, I can already see not only where the position is, I can enter again. There's ways to manage it because it's I don't know, the way it builds capital or your balance or your profits, whatever, is a little different. Whereas in Forex, I don't know what it is with Forex or trading with, let's say, MetaTrader. It just feels so much more crazy for me. I don't know, but I get exactly what you're saying. So, all right, we're going to be breaking down this trade here. Let's go back a little bit. I always get to, like I tell you guys, I wake up every morning at 6, read my Bible, shower, brush my teeth, all that good stuff. Come to my office, pray, then I hop on the charts. I usually get here around 7 o'clock. So we can get here, let's call it 7:30 just to be on the safe side. All right, we can get here 7:30. And I'm going to go and do a bit of an analysis from the top all the way down. All right, so on the daily, you can see, for those of you guys who remember last week, we were anticipating that price was going to come down because it already broke this. We were anticipating that price was going to go and bounce off of one of these daily gaps here. It did not do that. And this is why when people ask me why I'm buying in a downtrend, this is why. Look at this whole move. Since price touched this spot here, basically, it has just been going. It did not respect any gap at all. It just kept pushing through. Why? Because this is tied to the stock market. And on the stock market, especially with Dow Jones and the other basket of, companies, they usually just go up. It's why people invest in them so much. And so this is a naturally bullish pair. Now, long story short, I looked at it this morning. I said, okay, price clearly didn't respect any of these things. So I remember that we marked this up last week. I said, let me take a look here and see if there's anything that might be of concern. So I went down to the 1 hour. When I went down to the 1 hour, I did see that, price had already over last week and the weekend come down from this zone. This was the only other place I was kind of worried about. I'm like, okay, price tapped into that. So I started looking at this and saying, okay, on the 1 hour, I don't really see any other moves. I do see there's a bit of a gap here. And when I went to the 15, I saw a gap there. I'm like, all right, let me just, kind of shrink down to the 15-minute and get a better idea. So when I got to the 15-minute, I noticed that again, price had tapped into this zone, was going down. So remember what I told you guys about market structure. When price is breaking certain structure, right, and other ones are forming, you can only confirm that it's a higher high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower lower, whatever the case is, when it breaks the previous low or the previous high. So I'll give you an example. So when price starts going, down, right? Let me just draw this arrow. Price goes down this way, goes up, goes down, right? Up, down. If price is here, right, and is doing this, is this a higher low or is this going to be a higher high? The reason why we don't know is because price hasn't broken past here yet or past here. You have to wait for price to confirm its move. When price broke down here, this officially became a lower high. So when price got down here, right, now we have these highs here. It came up here. It formed a lower high again, but then it formed a higher low. And the reason why we know it formed a higher low is because it broke past this recent low. Okay, so recent high, sorry. So when it broke that, I said, okay, cool. Now that it's at a new higher high based on this previous structure here, price is now forming a move. Now, because it's not finished yet, I couldn't tell. So what I said was price is either going to have to break here, right, for us to know we're going for a higher high, or it's going to have to break here for us to know that we're going towards, we're bearish. Now, as you guys can see here, there's this candle indicator that I have. It's for, for me to see the daily candle on all time frames. It doesn't matter what time frame I'm on. It's supposed to show me what the daily time frame is doing. Okay, the daily candle is doing. Now, I don't use it for a confirmation thing. It just gives me an idea that so far we're bearish. And today, even though we were bearish when we were started, we ended up bullish, right? So that's why I say I don't use it all that often. So going back, I said, okay, if price breaks below one of these two areas, I will know that we're in, one trend or the next. But remember, we can't also always wait for the confirmation because we got to determine which direction we're in. So that's when you zoom out and you say, well, even though we have some activity up here that's starting to form bearish structure, overall, we are still in a bullish trend. So there's a good chance that price still may be able to react off of any of these gaps here and then go towards the upside. So initially, as price was coming down, I looked at this one just to see if price was going to do anything over there, but eventually it violated it. And then I had this small gap. Now, in the past, I never used to consider any small gaps. I'm like, this is too small, nothing's going to happen. But I've learned over time, every gap has a purpose. So it's good to mark them out and check them out. So long story short, I marked up this gap and then I went down to the 1 minute and I just started waiting for my entry. Let me just check the chat real quick just in case I'm missing any questions. Biscuit said, just wanted to hop in and say, love the content, man. I appreciate you, Biscuit. I don't know if you hop back out, but if you watch this back, bro, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the love and the support. Hard Effect said, please, what is the name of the indicator? Yeah, I can show you guys right now. Somebody asked me to do a video. I'll do a video on it, but it's called PO3 degrees. Let me see if I can find, where's the about for this? There you go. Let's see. Okay, there you go. HTF, or I guess high time frame power of 3. That's the name of the indicator. All right. I'm going to do a video about this because somebody asked me to do a video on this. And then Jeffrey also asked the same question. So yeah, Jeffrey and Hart, this is the indicator, okay? It's the PO3 higher time frame power of 3 indicator, okay? It shows you what the daily candle is at all times. And I find it very helpful for myself. So coming back to the analysis, when we got down to this level, I have these two zones marked out. Remember, I only trade from 8 to 11, and not even 8:30. I don't take any trades before 8:30, only because 8:30 has, from my past experiences, been a very manipulative time frame where at that time something crazy happens. It usually takes you out, or it'll really push up, but I don't trust it. So I wait till 8:30 to pass. So right now it's currently 7:29. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's get to 8 o'clock. Okay, so at 8 o'clock, you can see this is my sessions indicator, by the way, guys, that I set to only go from 8 to 11. After 11, I don't take any trades. Even though New York is from like 8 to 4 or 5 o'clock, I only stop at 11 o'clock, all right? So my session has begun, and technically I can take a trade any moment from there. So price is just doing its thing and doing its thing and doing its thing and doing its thing. And look, price is going up and then it starts shooting down, okay? Now, here's something interesting I noticed. So this is this candle's the 841 candle, Okay, let me show you what I noticed. Price came down. This wasn't here at the time. Let me just move this away. Price came down. And when price started moving towards the top, I said, okay, it's forming my pattern. Now, for those of you who don't know what my pattern is, this is my pattern. I wait for price to basically come down, go up, go down some more, and then it's supposed to break above here, and then I get in for the retracement and I go. That's my pattern. So that's what I was waiting for. So at this point, we had price, it was coming down, gave us a little small lower high, and then it went down, and then it started to break. So I was waiting for this to do that. But nowadays, I trade where as soon as it breaks this, I kind of take 1/2 position, and then I wait for the retracement to take the second. The reason why is because there are days like this where price doesn't come back and it just goes up. So what happened here? As soon as price went up above, I'm just going to put a buy here so you guys can see it visually. As soon as price went up above like this, let me just set my take profit here very quickly. As you can see how far away our take profit is, guys. Far away. But I knew that because it's Monday. Again, I've been trading indices for a while. I knew that because it's Monday and there's no news. When indices don't have news, the market open at 9:30 is usually way stronger than it should be. And when there's news, it doesn't open up that well. It usually reserves all that power and that volume for the news release. So I said, okay. When I got in here, I was like, shoot, this is too wide. I don't usually trade like that. Again, I usually wait for price to get my entry in around somewhere here. That way I can get really nice moves, right? But long story short, as soon as it opened up there, I entered the trade. So I entered the trade and price doesn't really come back. It just continues to shoot up, shoot up, shoot up, shoot up. And then when we got to around here, this is where things started to go left for me. Price started to go down and down and down and down and went up a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. Because remember my TP, so I have 2 TPs, right? I have one at 1 to 2, one at 1 to 4. So let me just open this up like this and show you guys. Oh, man. Bro. Okay, there you go. So a 1 to 2. This is not even correct because on the real chart, my exit or my 1 to 2 take profit was actually set to right here. Okay, so price kept on dancing in this area. I was so close initially, and then price started going down. So when price started going down and it went up, I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna hit TP. Then they're like, no, we're not. Started going down. Now it's making a lower low. I'm like, come on, bro, we're almost there, right? And then price goes up a little bit and it goes down somewhere. I'm like, okay. But I tell you guys, for the most part, I always just let my trades either hit TP or hit stop loss. And today, this morning, I was just like, bro, recently I've been trading a little bit choppy where I'm legitimately just, closing my trades out a little early. I'm like, today, whatever happens, happens. I don't care if it wins or loses, but I'm not closing my trade. And so as soon as, what time was it here? As soon as we got to around here, around 9:30, and I started to see that price was pushing up, I knew we would at least hit a 1 to 2. The reason is when New York Open starts, it's going to be very volatile. If you're close to TP, it should at least, even if it's the wrong direction, it should at least hit you and then go the other way. So that's what I was at least anticipating. But remember, my TP is all the way up there as well. So price, as soon as it hit 9:30, next candle, boom. Now with this type of momentum, you want to see what happens on the next ones. And so I just kind of let it go, and then eventually TP hit 1 to 4, almost a 1 to 5. Okay, and that's basically it. And the reason why I think this is such a good example is because, as you can see here, price never returned for the retracement. So if I did not take that half position, right, I wouldn't have made any money today, and I would have missed out on this incredible move. Now, let's go and take a look at what price is doing now. And as you can see, price is retracing. So for me, what I would look for at this time, let me just move this out the way, is because we're in a zone, a point of interest. For those of you who trade with me, you know how I trade. I look for, my strategy is based off of 3 things. Market direction, point of interest from a higher time frame, and then my pattern to enter. That's it. Okay, this is a point of interest that's supposed to push us bearish. Okay, when we go to the 15-minute, we can see that all the way from here, price never entered these gaps before. So even though we're bullish and it should disrespect or violate these gaps, we still want to be mindful of them because they potentially have room, you know what I mean, or a bit of juice left to do something crazy. So essentially what I'm waiting for here is I would need price to do this. Price went up. Okay, essentially I'm looking for price to go down, maybe up again some more, and then break that previous low. Once it does that, I'm looking to get in two positions. First one is right here at that first low, and then the second position is somewhere here within a gap or something like that. And then I'm aiming usually for a 1 to 2. Usually aiming for a 1 to 2. That's it. So in this case, I would need price to show me something more for me to get in. Now, another thing I can look at as well is, because we are also bullish, I can see if there are any recent gaps that price didn't mitigate or use or left behind that I can re-enter to catch more of the move towards the upside. At this point here, you can see price has closed every single candle after, New York open. So that tells me if there is any moves left before in between now and 11 p.m., it might be a small retracement to the downside. And if it shows me my setup, I can get in for another trade. I know some people that trade on the 5-minute and will look for 5-minute gaps and structure. I don't do 5-minute. I use 15-minute for higher time frame after looking at the 1 hour and daily and whatnot. And then I use the 1 minute for my entries. And that's what's led me to profitability and constant and consistency as well. Mozart said, yo, that PO3 indicator is dope. Now I don't have to have two trading. Yeah, bro, you guys want some? I mean, I'm supposed to do a video on it, but I don't mind dropping the sauce. I'll give you guys some other ones as well. So look at this. For some reason, it's not working. For some strategy, it's not working. But you see this thing here? Oh, no, that's for the candle. This indicator right here. Where is it? News. This one. I don't know why it's not working. It's supposed to show you the whole, week news, right here. The thing is supposed to be right here. And you're supposed to be able to see all week what the news events are. That way, I don't even have to check my FX book, Forex Factory, none of that. I just set it to show me all the red folder news, and that way I can see whenever I open the charts, I see right away what the news events for the week are. So it helps you. So you can't forget. You can't say, oh, shoot, I forgot we had news, or I didn't check. That used to happen to me. I don't have to do that anymore. I can literally look at this and say, oh, we have news today. So be careful. Don't trade at 8:30. Don't trade at 9:30. Don't trade at 10. Or don't trade at 2 for NFP and FOMC and all those crazy releases. All right. So that's another one. I know you guys might ask in the chat what the name of it is. So let me go to the about and see if I can show you guys the actual name. About script. Okay. Live economy calendar by 2 degrees. Okay. Yeah. You see this, guys, here? This is what it's supposed to look like on your chart. You see how it's showing orange, yellow, and red? I set mine to red only. So look, you can see for the whole week, Tuesday, August 22nd, we don't really have any hard news releases, but Wednesday we have some hardcore red folder news events, Thursday as well, and Friday. Okay, so this helps me to see what my week looks like. So this helps me also plan my trades, because when I look at this, I say, oh, okay, since news is happening this week, I start to look at market structure, and you'll notice that sometimes when there's a lot of news releases, price is just consolidating for the first part of the week because it's waiting for the news releases. So those days I just kind of watch, just because as a trader, my job is to show up every day and execute if my setup shows up. But for the most part, I just participate by just watching and, doing some analysis and whatnot. And that's it. That's all I do, because I can tell that the way price is moving, nothing's going to happen until FOMC or NFP or CPI or whatever the case is. You see what I'm saying? So that's another good indicator. For you guys wondering what you see these little blocks and stuff and some of these streaks here, that's this one right here. Lux Algo's fair value gap. It just helps me to see what the 1 hour gaps are on any time frame. Now, I don't use it that much. I usually just mark up the 15, but sometimes I find if there's a correlation, like let's say, you can see over here there was a 1 hour gap. Okay, let me just change this to FVG. You can see there was a 1 hour gap. I can say, okay, price has a 1 hour gap here, and it also formed a 15-minute one here. So that gives me confluence that this area might be a place where if price comes back into, it might go up. And look what happened when price came. Price tapped into here and shot right up. So I use that sometimes for accuracy, but most times you'll see that my indicators are off because I like a clean chart and I just want to see what I'm doing first before I use those things. But the most useful ones are the news calendar one and the daily candle. Those are the best. And then the other one is the market sessions one. This one. This just helps me to see that I'm in session. Okay. So if I get rid of this real quick, right, you can see that it's marked up this zone, right? This time frame. It starts at 8 o'clock. And it closes at 11 because I don't trade past 11. So over here, I'll be able to see I'm in session. And when I'm backtesting, it helps as well. When you're backtesting and you're going back and you're trying to see all these things and you can't tell what time of the day it is and stuff like that. When you do this, you can literally just kind of put it a little bit before, and it just helps you with your backtesting sessions and things of that nature. So All of these are useful to me. I don't rely on them, guys. Don't rely on your indicators at all. Don't rely on your indicators at all. Okay. Do your analysis. Make sure you understand what's going on before you do anything of that sort. All right. Let me just go back a little bit. I'm trying to go back to when. Oh, let's see. There we go. So this is the trade for those of you, if you're just joining, you're new. This is the trade we took this morning. And we're trying to see if another setup will form. So you see how price is doing this, guys? The only way I'd be interested is if after doing this, right? Price from here. Well, you can see it kind of did this a little bit. So that's interesting. But after this, price goes up here a little bit. Maybe something like that. Goes up some more. Goes up some more. And then comes down. Okay. Is that going to happen before 10? We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Somebody said, Bob said, could you analyze GJ? Why not, brother? Why not? GBP, USD. Oh, no, I'm sorry. JPY. Let's do OANDA. Let's see what's good. All right. So I'm going to be analyzing the British pound, Japanese yen, also known as GJ. I'm going to take these indicators off real quick just so we can have a clean chart. Anytime I'm new to a pair, I don't just jump in and say, oh, I can see right now we're kind of in an uptrend and prices. No. Zoom out. Okay. I think we analyzed this a bit before as well on one of these lives, but I'm going to clear everything. Let me just delete all the drawings so that we have no confusion. All right. So I go to the weekly first. Now, why would I go to the weekly? People will say this all the time. I don't give a damn what's happening in 1925 or whatever, or 2002. That's got nothing to do with me. And yeah, you're right. But I need to understand historically how this pair moves. I need to know, is this a pair that, on average, it moves down, or on average, it moves up, or it consolidates? Because then I'll understand what my probabilities are in terms of buys and sells. For US 30, for example, because it's an index pair, and I trade indices, they tend to go up like 60, 70% of the time. So I'm bullish way more than I'm bearish, even in a downtrend, because price will, even in a downtrend, give you really good retracements where you can catch a good piece of the pie. So anyways, come back to GJ. Let's take a little bit of a look here. We have price going all the way up, going down, giving us a bit of structure here. It essentially goes down here, goes all the way up here, and then does this. So this hasn't broken the last low. So technically, even though it hasn't broken this high either, we might be retracing towards the upside or forming bullish structure. And as you can see, price comes down here, goes down here, goes down here again, and eventually we make our way above this. The next stop is right here, so we got to be careful of that. But we can see that price, at least in the short term, we were bullish. Okay, so now this tells me that in order for us to be bearish, we got to start breaking some market structure. Obviously, we got to come down here, but that's so far. The last time we were down here was in 2020. Okay, but on the short time frame, on a small time frame, when we get there, we can see that once price starts breaking past like these lows here, we're most likely starting to really go in a long-term bearish trend. So for the most part, I can understand that. At least looking at this, it looks like GJ for the most part has been going down, but we might be retracing a bit. You can see here that price broke this level right here, okay? And now something within this zone over here caused GJ to tank. So that's what we got to figure out. We got to figure out if we're going to take a retracement back up to this side or wait for price to get up here and go down. Stuff like that. All right, so now let's go down a little bit more. Actually, let me keep this one here. Let's go down a little bit more. Let's go down to the 1 hour, or actually the daily, just real quick. You can see here on the daily, okay, that other side is far away, so we ain't got to pay too much attention to it. But on the daily, what we essentially have is price was going up, down, consolidated a little bit, shot up, down, went up this way. And then what happened? We broke this level, came down a little bit, went up this way, and now price is retracing, and it looks like it might be going down again. Okay, so what happened was we broke this low. This low tells us we're now bearish again. Okay, so from the daily, we are in a bear trend. We also have, for those of you who trade support and resistance, we do have like areas like, let's say right here, where you can see that price has tapped into it multiple times and seems to be a strong area that if price returns to, might give us a push towards the downside, or if it breaks above, it might use it as a trampoline and go towards the upside. So we're bearish in the meantime, at least looking at the daily. When I go down to the 1 hour, I can see that, okay, even though we're overall bearish for the last, since August, basically, we've been bullish. Now, this is another thing I've noticed about price. This is how I usually determine if price is going to continue upwards or go back down. When price is trending properly, it does this, okay? When price is retracing, it does exactly what you're seeing here. Let me just go from here. You see how it's like not going up in a strong way? It's just like gradually creeping like that. That's how you know this is usually a retracement, okay? Which means when price gets back to this level or some level we're looking at, it should go back down, okay? And for those who trade what people call retail or whatever, you'll see that like this is a bit of a, you can call it a, you can maybe make a little channel like this just to give you a visual. You can kind of draw the stuff like that, where you can say maybe it's a wedge or whatever the case is, whatever works for you. But you can see that usually when we have setups like this, what does price usually do? It goes up a little bit and it's supposed to break downwards. Okay, so this tells us that even though we've been bullish for August, we are still overall bearish. All right, so let me start going to the lower time frame now. So on the 1 hour, these are the things I've got to worry about. I've got to look at where we are right now. Price broke this level right here. Oops. Price broke this level right here. Okay, now we're making structure towards the downside. Why? Because we have a lower high and now we've made lower lows. So we are anticipating that price is going to retrace somewhere into these areas. This first gap here, price used that to go down. Okay, and then the second gap we have right now is this one. And this is what price is heading into right now. So right now, this is a perfect example, I feel like. Okay, we have to look at if price is going to go down or up. Now, based on this, we might be trending down and this might be a retracement to go to the downside. If this was indices, I would still be careful, but because it's GJ and GJ kind of, from what it looks like, goes down for the most part, we might have a good entry to go towards the downside. So we have this gap here. We also have over here a massive gap, which sometimes can be used as, I think it's an inversion gap or something like that. But long story short, it shows you that somewhere in this region, there's a lot of volume. So it could be a good place for a retracement. So let's go down to the 15. All right, now at the 15, this is my sweet spot. Like as a scalper, this is exactly how I would trade this. So at the 15 now, I'm looking at gaps that are of concern to me. I can see we have two. We have this one up here, right? That price is heading towards. And we have this one that price recently violated, but it's not over yet because the candle's not closed. So this would be a great time if you're somebody who's swinging or doing day trades or whatever, you don't have that much time. This would be a great time to put alerts. So right here, I'd put an alert that says, I'll give you an example. I would say, let me just move this over. I'd say price is approaching bearish FVG. Okay, I would have one right there. And then if this was not here yet, I would have one above here saying that price is violating it. That way I can just look at my reminders or my alerts and see what price is doing without opening the chart. But anyhow, so at this point, now that I've seen what's happening on the 15, this is what I'm biased towards, a bearish, pullback or something like that. Now, if this was indices, I would still be looking at areas like this. Okay, two areas here. I'd be looking at this one right here. Okay, as a gap. And I'd be looking at this one as well. Well, actually, no. I'd be looking maybe down here just to be on the safe side. Only because the one on this side kind of, kind of works like that. So I could just draw like that. But the reason why is because on indices, price can come from here and still shoot towards the upside because index pairs have a mind of their own and they're naturally bullish. Okay. So anyways, now that we're here, let's zoom in. Now, before I zoom in, I just want to see if I'm missing anything. Okay, Jack Rumble, welcome back, Jack. Good to have you back here. He said, I hear that the average return of the trader is 1 to 10% monthly. Is this true? It's baffling that a day trader who trades almost every day will get a similar percent with a swing trader. Yeah, so to be honest, I don't know the stats on that, to be quite honest, so I can't really comment on it. I do know that I was saying this last week that I think the stats are changing. That whole like 90% lose and, people only make like 2%, 3% a month. There are some, like we're seeing consistently people are getting better at trading because so much knowledge and information is out there that people are perfecting the craft more and more. So I think the stats may have changed on that, but I can't tell you what the average is because one, everyone's different, and two, I haven't looked at the stats. Professor, welcome back. I'm sorry, not Professor. Show said, what up, people? Wish you all a great trading week. Welcome back, Show. What up? What's good? Good to have you back. Professor said, hey, guys. Sorry I joined late today. better late than never, right? So good to have you back, Professor, as well. I'm glad to see a lot of the Forex, the foreign money family in the chat. Join the Discord, guys, if you haven't. We have lovely people in there. They're helpful. Jack Rumble said, if price makes a swing low and then makes another swing low before breaking the highs, which low will be an actual one? Okay, I'm going to deal. And then he said, please analyze gold. I'll look at gold in just a sec. I just want to do GJ for Bob real quick, okay? And I'll answer that question as well. So now that I'm here, this is what I'm looking at. As you can see, price is going over here. And I'm now going down to the 1 minute. So guess what I'm looking for at the 1 minute, guys? At the 1 minute, all I'm waiting for price to do, if this is an area of, concern. By the way, guys, I call this area a point of interest. Not my own term, obviously, but it's just for people who don't know how I trade. This area to me would be my point of interest for now until it breaks or violates. And it kind of has violated, but I'm still going to use it as an example. And what I'm looking for at this time is this. I'm waiting for price. As price has gone up, again, I'm looking to see something like this. A push down below this low, I'm in. 1 to 2, 1 to 5, 1 to 3, whatever potential this trade will give me. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so at this time, that's what I would hope for. If it doesn't, it would have to break. Price would have to continue up towards this level here. And when it gets there, I'd look for the same pattern and take it towards the downside. That's it. I keep it super duper simple. So what I'm going to do, and just so I don't want to miss this move, but I don't want to stay here and watch because I want to analyze gold as well for those who are asking. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alert. Here's what I'll do. I'll set 2 alerts. I'm going to set one right here that tells me price. Oops. Price is breaking structure towards the upside. Okay, I spelled structure wrong. Towards the upside, so that's one. All right, so that tells me if price breaks above here, I can come back and check and see that it hasn't formed my pattern yet. But I'm going to set another one right below there. Okay, and I'm going to say price is forming bearish structure. Did I do that again? Structure. Okay, there you go. Cool. All right, just hit enter. And these two now will just, now obviously this is not enough to form bearish structure, but it'll give me an idea that price might be starting to make moves towards the low side. That's all I would do. I would just keep my alert there, and then when I check either one, I can kind of get an idea of where I was. Okay, so we're gonna keep these two open. It might hit off, it might trigger anytime soon, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and analyze gold. Yeah, Jack Rumble said please do gold. Alan Mug, hey, welcome back, bro. Welcome back, Alan. He said, yo, new week was good. Mozart said, I'm gonna be honest, I swing trade and day trade. I think in my case it's the same return, it's just one we're sitting at the computer more. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what I was explaining last time in the live too, that somebody will take, so the same trade I took today on US30, I'm just gonna go back to US30 real quick. Real quick. The same trade that I took today where I made like a 1 to 5 or whatever the case is. Where are we at? Is it here? No, that's Nas. US30. Where in the world is that trade? Oh, there you go, right? Somebody made $50 in this trade. Somebody made 50,000. Somebody made 5,000. It really depends. There's a lot of great traders that risk a 1 to 2 and make way more than you'll make in a year. So, you know what I mean? Percentage is one thing, but at the end of the day, the numbers really tell the full story, right? So it depends. But GJ just hit. Let's go back to GJ. Let's see what's going on. All right, cool. So now GJ is starting to make moves towards the downside. You see what I'm saying? So now guess what I would do? I would move my alerts, this one right here. I would move it to this. Because if price breaks this structure, it's telling me that it might form what it's looking for. Now, here's another thing too that I've noticed with Forex pairs. Usually with indices, I would need to really see that up, down, up some more and go down and then retrace to the downside. What I've noticed, what I've noticed with Forex pairs is that sometimes this is enough. This little move right here where you see it's breaking this, you can literally enter. I'll show you. Like right here, because you know where it's supposed to go and still catch a nice 1 to 2. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that. For now, I'm going to move to gold real quick, guys, and show you guys my analysis on gold. Now, as you can see, we have a bunch of stuff here. We've been analyzing gold all week. Last week, everybody kept asking me. And then this is something we drew earlier. But let me do a brand new analysis so that you guys can see from top to bottom what gold looks like. Okay, what my analysis would be. And I always have to, for those of you guys who see me do this all the time, I apologize, just bear with me. For those of you who are new, every time I go to a pair I don't trade, because I only trade indices. Every time I go to a new pair I'm not familiar with, I look at the weekly chart, because I need to understand prehistorically or overall, is this a pair that goes up? Is this a pair that goes down? Or is this a pair that consolidates? It's very important. If I know the general bias of the pair, I can already set my trades a certain way, or my bias, or the way my look, or what's the word, my perspective on the market a certain way, okay? So, I mean, without looking at this, it's very easy to see. Essentially, price went up, went sideways a little bit, which gold kind of seems to do, went up, went down, went up, down, and then now we're here, okay? Gold has broken all-time highs. We're just flying through the roof, okay? So gold prehistorically has been a bullish pair, meaning it's a pair that usually goes up. So that's good to know. Will it be bearish sometimes? Yes, but for the most part, it'll always continue going up. So now that I know that, I can go down to the daily. At the daily, I can see here recently, it looks like we were kind of just a little bit maybe going sideways, you know what I mean? Just a little bit, and then we broke out of that. Price kind of came back into that consolidation, and now we're going towards the upside. So again, we're bullish, and so I'm going to start looking at areas that are going to be somewhat significant. So I'm going to go down to the 1 hour, understanding, okay, let's draw a little bit of structure here. Okay, this we can just mark off as support and resistance. In this case, we have a resistance level here. So that's just something to look out for. What I'm going to do now that I know that price is sensitive around that area, I'm going to start looking for gaps in that area to figure out where is my next point of interest that I can take towards the upside, or in the short term, if it was somehow bearish, I would take it towards the downside. Okay, so I can see here, this is the last area, or the next area that's going to be my point of interest. So what I would do now is then I would go down to the 15-minute, okay, and I would look at what's going on there. Now you can see here that when I go back into the zone on the 15-minute, we actually have, if I tidy this fair value gap up, we have this being the next region. So this is a really good spot that I would look out for. Now, in the short term of things, price, what did price do? Price went up, okay, down, went up some more, down a little bit, down some more, went up a little bit more, up, and then boom. Okay, now we have this. So we have to figure out what in the world is price doing. Okay, some people might look at this and say, oh, this is a double bottom. You might be right, no problem. For me, I'm looking at market structure. I can see that when price came up and went up a little bit, this is what happened. This was our last highest point. Okay, since then, price has been making lower highs. It even broke a recent low. So it tells me right now we're kind of forming bearish structure. But after that, we had the last low here that was penetrated, right? It was wicked out. And what happened? We got boom, 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 and towards the upside, which is what? My pattern. So if this was on a 1 minute time frame, I'd be looking to enter here to go up. I don't trade this on the 15, so I'm not gonna take that perspective or have that take. But what we can look at is say, okay, on the 15, what should we be worried of? We know that our major point of interest is here. But prior to this, let me just go back on the replay a little bit. Prior to this, my next zone, because I can see what's happening here, I would still mark out these gaps, as you guys saw me do on US 30, because even though price, let's say, is bullish and should disrespect the bearish gaps, you still have to be mindful, because you don't know if price is actually starting to reverse as opposed to retrace. This looks like a retracement, but we're not too sure. So I would mark up this level. So what I would do is I would go to the 1 minute, and I would simply wait for price to touch either here or there and wait for my pattern. So in this case here at 944, nothing's happened. Price starts going up towards this side, and then boom, it taps into this area, okay? Now that it's in this area, I am watching. I'm looking for my pattern. What's my pattern? At this point, price has gone up. We're waiting for price to go down a bit more, up a little bit more, break the recent low, retrace, take us down, okay? That's all I'm looking for. So I'm going to see if it forms here. If it doesn't, cool. All right, so price, okay, I'll give you guys another example here as well. For indices, I always say this. Back in the day, this was enough for me to get into the trade right here. Why? Because I would actually count this little move as a higher low. So to me, this is a break. So what am I doing? I'm getting back in around here. One position there, another position up there, and I'm aiming for a 1 to 2. So in this case, this would be my, sorry guys, this would be my take profit, okay? Now, realistically speaking, the reason why I stopped doing that is because it's a very aggressive entry. super aggressive. Like if you trade like this, sometimes you'll get some bangers. I mean, like price will just shoot all the way down. But sometimes too, it can really screw you. Now, here's another thing that you can kind of use for Confluence if we were overall bearish. There's something in the market called liquidity, okay? And the most basic form of liquidity is usually sitting at, there you go, is usually sitting at equal highs or equal lows, okay? In this case here, price is kind of taken, quote unquote, liquidity. What you would want is price to move back down right after taking this, but it went up higher. For indices, this happens all the time. It'll take this out, form something up here, and then really shoot down. Okay, I don't really use liquidity as a Confluence or anything like that, but just to kind of give you guys an idea, sometimes that could be a thing of Confluence. So let's just take a look at what happens. So again, I'm waiting for my pattern. I wouldn't necessarily take this trade, but I'm waiting for my pattern. So what happens? Price forms a little bit of a lower high, and that's what we're seeing right now. So far, this is what's going on. So again, I would actually wait for price to give me my pattern in this area. If not, I'm waiting for price to come back down. So for gold, I guess I can say my position right now is I am overall bullish, but in the lower time frame, I'm expecting some form of a retracement, even if it's a minor one. So I'm just waiting to see what price does here. So at this point, let's set 2 alerts as well so we can see what happens with gold. So let's say price has broken recent high, right, for now. And then over here, I'm going to... here's the thing. Price can easily come up in here and form something else. But unless it takes this out, I'm actually not interested. So I'm going to put this here as well. And I'm going to say price has broken recent low. Just to get an idea of what's going on. So that way I can look at something else. And depending on what happens, it'll help me to adjust my position. If it breaks below here, I'm starting to anticipate price coming in here to take it towards the upside. If it breaks above here, I'm still anticipating that bearish movement a little bit because it might just, again, take liquidity or just break structure just to form our pattern. So far, that's what I'm looking at for gold. I will look a little bit more deeply into it later on, but that's it so far. I want to get back to the chat real quick. Hart said, GJ may continue pushing up. Okay, we'll check GJ just now. Mufundo Road said, greetings from South Africa. Welcome, my brother. Greetings from Canada. I'm from Canada, so greetings to you as well. DJ Mustang, welcome back, baby. What's good? He said, hello, people. Hello, DJ Mustang. All right, let's go back to GJ and see what's happening. All right, so GJ is starting to kind of like retrace a little bit. Let me go back to 15, just get an idea of what's happening here. Again, no gaps. And it's so easy to say, okay, but what about the 5 minute? There's a gap right there. And it's true. You might be able to take this gap right here. In fact, let me just draw them for reference. You might be able to take this gap right here. You might be able to take that gap right there when it comes down. But I don't trade the 5 minute. That's the thing. I only does what works for me. Don't try and trade everybody's strategy. Just do what works for you. There are people who only trade 4-hour gaps, 1-hour gaps, 1 minute gaps. It's up to you. For me, I have found the best results on 15, 1 hour, 1 minute. Okay, so I look for those type of gaps. So in this case here, we can see that GJ is pushing down but retracing a little bit. The question is, what is it going to do? Is it going to break this low or is it going to break this high? So I'm going to set another alert here so that we understand what's going on. Price has broken. That's it. Okay. For those of you who don't have time to check the charts, alerts are amazing. They help you to understand. I used to set my alerts like this. Let me go back. I would set my alert like this and I'd be like, when price returns to area, look for, you know what I mean? Look for opposing gap to take towards, and like it would be so detailed. There'd be like 15 different instructions in here because sometimes when you're doing something else, you'd forget. But alerts are super, super helpful. All right, guys. So you can set them and use that as a catalyst, or not a catalyst, but just as a reminder to, get into a good position. So right now I have half an hour, basically 33 minutes until my session's over. And I always tell you guys, I don't care if the most beautiful 1 to 100 setup is about to form at 11:05. I'm not going to take it. My rules tell me no trades after 11, because as I've shown you guys on these lives, guess what happens at 11 o'clock? Price always reverses the other way. We saw this a couple times last week on indices, at least, right? So on indices, price usually, let me go here and show you guys. At 11 o'clock, I'll see if I can show you guys in this case. So it's It's 10:28, okay? At 11 o'clock, oh, this is interesting. Didn't really give us actually, you guys, I might take this on just to kind of show you guys. But look, if price, it's too bad that it went back up. If price had gone down here and did this, I'm already in this trade. going towards the downside if I'm anticipating some sort of bearish retracement, right? So I wish it kind of did so I could show you guys in real time what that looks like. But essentially around 11 o'clock, half an hour from now, you're going to see price, if it's not already retracing, is going to start retracing at 11 o'clock towards the downside a bit. Because when I did all my back testing, I have 4 years worth of data. 11 o'clock is prime time for reversals. I don't know why. And not reversals towards my favor. It's not one of those where I could say, oh, this is where my entry should hit. No. It just reverses randomly, doesn't really give you structure. It just starts falling or it just starts pushing. It does weird stuff at 11 o'clock. So I don't trade after 11. Okay. Some people trade afternoon session for New York. I don't. All right. So yeah, I just analyzed gold and I just analyzed GJ, guys. Okay. So I hope that helped you and I hope that answered your questions. Somebody asked a question before. It was Jack. He said, if price makes a swing low and then makes another swing low before breaking the highs. Okay. So let's try and map that out. Sometimes when you guys ask me questions, I don't know what. And it's not to your offense. It's not to say you're not saying what I'm saying. Sometimes my brain just does not register. So I'm going to try and map this out, okay? I think this was this on gold, Jack? You could let me know. But let's just do the exercise here. So he said a swing low. So we have price going up, down, right? A low. And so he said if you have two of these lows, okay? He says, where's this question? If it makes a swing low, makes another swing low before breaking highs, which one will be the actual one? Okay, good. So he's asking if you have these two and then price does this, and let's say even breaks this one, which one will be the actual one? It'll always be the most recent one. If I'm answering your question correctly, okay, this was the last low that price kind of formed, or I guess, well, it'd be this. I'm sorry. So price came, gave us this swing low, and then broke here. This is the area that you're looking at to make your trade, all right, or to get into your entry. This is the most recent lower high, lower low. This section right here is all you're paying attention to. All that stuff before it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I hope that answers your question. Hopefully it does. So yeah, I'm still open to seeing if we have an opportunity. In fact, let's take a look at SPX and stuff, because we only show love to US 30. Let's see what happened on SPX. Okay, so on SPX in the morning, what do we get? Gosh, look how crazy that is. So where was I? I was over. We were like over here. We had this area, and I took the crazy thing is I took a buy on US 30. What happened around this time on SPX? Let's see. 9 o'clock. 9:24. Nothing really. If I go to the 15-minute, let me just take a quick look here. Let me see if there were any gaps or anything. Yeah, there was a gap here. So okay, cool. That's that. I personally would be very careful to take a gap like that because it's so close to a point of interest. But let's see what would have happened. So price would have tapped the gap and went up. So this is not enough for me to get in, even though it tapped and it's given us that signal. Okay, let's go back to gold. Let's go back to gold. All right, so gold. What's going on here? Am I tripping? Price has broken a recent high. Okay, let me check back here real quick. Where did we set this alert? Was price going down here before? My brain is cooked, guys. My brain is cooked. So price probably was somewhere around here. We're waiting for price to break that. Am I even on the right gold pair or am I on the wrong one? Bro, I am tripping, bro, guys. 1 second. This is weird to me. All right, you guys might have to help me out. For some reason, I can't figure out where we were and why I even set that alert. But I did say that we were looking for price. Bro, I am tripping. We had a liquidity pool up here. We were waiting for price. Was there something we marked up over here? Or did the chart glitch, bro? Am I tripping? You guys are gonna have to help me out, bro. I don't know what is going on over here. But essentially, what did we say we were? We were overall, were we bullish? Yeah, we were bullish if it came here, and we were bearish if it came to this side. So I don't understand why in the world I set parameters. Oh, was it just as an example? Is that what happened? I just set it as an example to show you guys like how alerts work. Because I can't understand what I'm doing over here. I wouldn't look at anything over here. None of my points of interest have been tapped into. right? Or am I wrong? Let me see. 15-minute. Any gaps here? No. Bro, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. All right, let me go back to the stuff he said. I think he means if there's another swing low before the high gets taken. Okay, thank you, Mozart. Mozart said, I think you said another as an example. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm like, bro, I can't see why in the world that would be of any importance to me, right? Besides the fact that we have a bit of consolidation there. BL said, hi, what's good, BL? Welcome to the chat. What's good? K Dot said two lows. I think it means two lows. Okay, so I think I demonstrated that. If I didn't, let me know and I'll do it again. But yeah, welcome to the chat, BL. So essentially, just to, I guess, kind of go over that, we have that over here. I think it goes on at 15. Yeah, all right. If you have two lows, all right, price gave you this low, then this low, even this low, let's say, right? Then essentially, if you're going to get back, can you just look at the recent one? All right. BL said retracement. Sorry, BL. I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you can give me a little bit more information, that would be cool. All right. So in the meantime, like I said, let's go ahead and look at, let's look at Euro JPY. I took a look at it this morning just to see what's going on. Cause like I said, I'm kind of interested in trading that. Let's see what happened here. Let me go back and take a look at some of my point of interest that I was looking at. People said GJ is better because it moves faster and more violent and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens if I start trading UJ. People are going to be like, bro, please trade GJ. I don't want to see no UJ, bro. Not UJ, but Euro JPY. So let's see. All right. So where were we? This is 930. This was our first area. And this gap got taken. So, oops. This gap got taken. So we don't. Wait. Oh, I see. Yeah. So that one got taken. So at this point, the only one that really matters is that if I'm going to consider that a gap of importance. There is this forming here too, but what was I? I think I was initially bearish. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, let's analyze and see what we could have done. So there are some areas that we're looking at. Let's see what happens when price gets those areas. So price got to this area. This is perfect, actually, I think, because price got to this area and gave us this. All right, we have kind of like something like this, boom, and then it went down. So after, like, let's say getting down here, I might go in for a retracement towards the downside. So let's see how that would have played out. Again, I don't trade these pairs, but I'm assuming that would be probably the closest thing to my entry. So we can even do something like this and just put our stops right there. Maybe like this instead. That's a bit wide. Something like that. And then we're aiming for our way down. I'll do a proper analysis on this later. I don't even know where we are or why I marked these up, but I just want to see if this would have worked in that setting. If it doesn't, then cool. Let me see my take profit as well. Okay. And then at this point, if there was another gap, I would have entered another position. So you would have something like this, because I always try to maximize my trade. So I try to get the next one to like a 1 to 4. So just like that, that would be my next position. And then I would try and hold. And it takes us, oh, it didn't take us out. There you go. It takes us out. So at this point, oops. At this point, let's say we lost one, right? Here, what should we be doing? Should we call it a day and not trade no more? Or can we find another entry? Because I have a rule of two trades per day, or 2% per day, as in max loss, okay? So this would be one trade. Now, we could have lost, let's say over here, we lost a full 1% because I do two half positions. If something did show up in this area here, I could potentially catch it again. And all I need is one of those setups to happen again, and I would make back about 3% as opposed to the one that I lost. So, you know what I mean? Like it plays out. Is this the end of it? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Price doesn't. Okay, cool. Keep training. This session is over and you lost paper money on your, oh my gosh, guys, what am I gonna do? All right, so I might have taken this. Again, I don't know what was going on here, but I can't tell if I was bearish or bullish, but I would have just entered there anyways. You win some, you lose some. So I'm gonna monitor this as well and just see. Let me see if I can do an analysis. Let me get back to chat real quick and then I'll try that. BL, put a laughing face. Jack Rumble said, I mean in the uptrend, not a downtrend. I see, let's say price makes a higher low, and instead of making a higher high, it makes another higher low. Oh, okay. Let's draw that out then. Let's draw that out. Let's get rid of this. All right. So Jack said, I'm going to read it again. I mean in an uptrend. So we're going up. Right? And he says, if we're in an uptrend, not a downtrend, let's say price makes a higher low. Okay. So we're in an uptrend and price makes, let's say something like this. A higher low. And then, well, technically we would need something confirmed up anyways. And instead of making a higher high, it makes another higher low. So something like this is what you're saying, right? Something, let's say along those lines. That should be it. Makes another, instead of making a higher high, it makes another higher low. Yeah, so essentially, instead of price breaking above here to make a higher high, it gives you another higher low. Okay, cool. Then he says, before making a higher high, which would be the importance. Okay, so before making a higher high, so it gives you another higher low, and then it goes up. And you're asking which one would be the important one to take. Again, for me, it's just a recent structure. So this right here would be, let me do this. I used to do this back in the day. Let's see if it helps. And let's make this black. Let's make this, yeah, that's fine. This font is fine. Okay, so higher low and a higher high. Okay, we'll just mark these higher highs, and essentially we have that higher high. We have a higher low, a higher low. We have another higher low, and instead of price making a higher high, it gives you a lower high. Okay, so a lower high, and then still manages to give you another higher low. Is this correct so far? Help me out. BL said gold is very bullish. We'll check gold in a sec. Alan Monk said, what broker do you use for indices? I want to trade them, but brokers I have very little leverage. To be honest, one of the ones that I've been using for years now is Fusion Markets. I'll show you them in a second, but Fusion Markets has 1 to 500 on indices, so I have no issues there. But again, I'll show you that in a second. Mr. May says, hi guys, what's good, Mr. May? Welcome. He said EU is flying. Oh shoot, we'll check that in a second. And Jack Rumble said yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So cool. So Jack Rumble wants to know. Let me just do this. Jack Rumble wants to know, in case you have a situation like this. Okay, now we're assuming that we're waiting for some, because in this case, the only reason why this is of importance to me is because we have some bearish area of interest. You see what I'm saying? So let's say, for example, you have something like this, and then price ends up doing this. Shoot. Price ends up doing this. Okay? This here is all I care about. This last two moves. Even though you can say this was a more significant low, this is still enough, because this is what you call, and you guys can correct me, sometimes people say I'm wrong about this, it's either a market structure shift or a change of character, one of the two. So when price is going up like this, and now it made a higher high, but then it technically made a lower low, right? This is all I need to hop into the trade. So you can look at these two and say, okay, I would want this to break first. And this, let me just be clear. This is a stronger confirmation that we're going towards the downside. A stronger one. If price breaks here, it's a stronger confirmation we're going to the downside. But me, I'm aggressive. I just need you to show me a little bit, right? And I'm in. First position at this level right here. Stop loss right above the recent higher high. Okay? 1 to 2. Second position, there's got to be some gap, something in here. I'm aiming for about a 1 to 4 on that second one. That's it. And all I'm hoping for is that price will come from somewhere in here, or even if it was down here, and hit my TP. That's it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I hope it's clear. If it's not, let me know. I will explain it more in depth. FC Moses said, Mr. May, it should fly the next few days. I'm in a buy on the daily time frame. That's nice. So what was this? You guys were talking about EU. Let's take a look at EU. And then now BL says oil is dumping. Sheesh. Jeffrey said, I'm up 2% on gold. I was bullish, gonna close on day open. Yeah, you're good. If you've made at least 2%, you are solid, my brother. Solid. Let's go to Euro USD. I think we analyzed this last week as well. Let's see what happens. Okay. So somebody said EU is flying. Am I tripping? EU as in Euro USD? Maybe on a higher time frame. Let me take a look. Okay. Jack Rumble say yes, I understand. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome, Jack. Feel free to ask more questions, guys. So yeah. So you guys said EU is flying. Let's take a look and see what's happening. I think we marked this up last week and we looked at some of these zones and whatnot. And we were anticipating that at some point, let me see it, the daily, was it something up here? Yeah, it was like potential order block and all that stuff. But anyway, so when we look at EU, EU is flying. It's going into what I would call a point of interest where I'd start looking at stuff. But on the 1 hour, EU is taking off. Okay, cool. Makes sense now. So EU is literally just bursting out the seams. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. We already missed this train right here. This was the train we should have taken. We already missed that one. That is a beautiful setup right there. Unfortunately, we don't got that. We got to go to the 15. Now, the question is, are we going to continue to go up or go down? If we are going up, we want to look at some recent gaps that we might be able to use. We have this one here. Oops. Okay. Let me just set this to FVG. Then we have this one right here. And then lastly, we have this massive one before you go down here. And don't get me wrong, this is very ugly chart work, okay? It makes things busy, but the reason why you mark this because you don't know which one price is going to take. Sometimes price, look, I used to use Fibonacci's. There are days where on the Fibonacci, let me see if I could just put the, do I have a regular one? There you go. There are days where price will retrace just to the 23, other days to the 32, other days to the 50, the 60, the 76, and then other days it would just completely violate your whole thing. And I've learned that when it comes to fair value gaps, you don't know which one price is going to use. Usually when you look left, there's another factor as to why it chose that one, but your job is to mark out, wait for your entry pattern signal, wherever the case is, and enter. That's it. Every time I've done that, even when like, so for example, if price retraces here, what would you say? You're like, oh man, that's too steep. There's a good chance price will go down here. You never know. Price might take this and just shoot up. We don't know what it's going to do. We just got to wait to see what it does. All right. So I would honestly just be waiting to see what price does when it gets around here. Now I'd keep in mind that we are entering a zone where price could retrace. So I'd have that in the back of my head, but EU is flying. For those of you who were trading EU, what did you guys, like, what was your setup? What did you guys catch? Let us know, man. We want to celebrate you. Last week, people were doing crazy numbers, 13%, 11%, 5%, 6%, and we all put some flames in the emoji. We cheered them up. So if you guys are doing well, let us know. We want to say good job. Mozart said, I entered on the trade on the 13th of August. I'm up 78 pips. So, bro, but Mozart, I think, is the one who said that he does both swing and scalping. And I think, are you the one that does, you do futures for an adrenaline rush and then you do swing trading for like a more of a structured, steady approach? Remind me if it's you. But essentially, he said on the 13th of August. So Mozart was in this trade, which is, man, shout out to you, Mozart. That's incredible. So here we are on the 13th. And you're up 78 pips. I wonder where you entered. That's crazy. Did you enter right at this bottom somewhere when it gets started? I'd be interested to see your, I mean, if you're swing trading. Oh, I see. This was our analysis, by the way, guys. When we last analyzed your USD, we said we were bullish, and look what price is doing, right? So anyhow, over here, I mean, this, I personally, just looking at what I trade, this would be my setup right here. I'd enter somewhere around here to get in for a trade. And then obviously on a higher time frame, look at all these like gaps and stuff. Look at this. This is just a beautiful textbook type setup. Obviously, we need some more confluence and stuff like that, but this would be awesome. But I'm curious to see where Mozart entered. That'd be fire. I trade Forex on the daily. That's fire. He said 10992. Okay, cool. So let me do one of these. Draw a horizontal line. And then he said it's 109927. 9927. Am I reading that right? 09927. 09927. Okay, cool. So let's find out where he was. All right, cool. So he entered here. That's phenomenal. Excellent job. Don't know where your, stop loss is, because on swing trades, could be here, could be there, could be before the last bearish candle, could be a lot of things. But right now, this is where you're at. If you haven't closed yet, that's fire. You could be anywhere from, let's just call it, either about to hit a 1 to 2, or depending on how sniper it is, you are heavily improper. I was about to say something else totally inappropriate. You are very heavily into profit, which is fire. Good job on you, bro. FVG at Oh, okay, good, good, good. Let's do that. So he has another one. He has another one. Thank you for sharing this, by the way. You don't have to. 10391. Okay, let's see. 10391. If I'm reading this correctly. 1.10391. Let's see where that's at. Got you. So, FVG, tape read. I only entered on the 3-minute time frame. Oh boy, people have a bunch of entries. This is gonna be crazy. All right, so let's color coordinate this. We're gonna put Mozart is his logo's like black and white. Let's do black for Mozart. Okay, or maybe even like a dark gray. It doesn't make no difference. That looks black. All right, so let's do that for Mozart, and then we're gonna say Mozart. Let me spell his name correctly. Mozart. Cool, cool, cool. All right. And oh, let's say Mozart FVG. Okay, and then Mozart entry. Okay, so that's Mozart. And then we have Mr. May. Mr. May's got a little bit of a brown orange. So we're gonna do brown orange for Mr. May. We're gonna say Mr. May entry. All right, and then his line is gonna be, see if we can find like a brownish orangish tone, maybe something like that. Okay, so Mr. May, your coordinates were 10326. Where are you at? 10326. Okay. Oh, I see. All right, so you're in here. Oh, and you see trade on the 3-minute. So that's interesting. I would love to see the setup there. FC Mozart said I'll share my chart in the Discord. Excellent. Please share it in. We have a trading section, so share it there. Let's get some activity there because nobody's really said anything there yet. And I plan to use it in the future because I'm debating on how I'm going to do this whole thing, but I plan to use it in the future. So yeah, please share it there. Mr. May said TP at 1.10444. All right. So let's do another one. TP. We're going to say 10. I think he said 444. And we're going to say Mr. Mozart TP. And then we just got something on Nas as well, but we don't care about Nas. We're not analyzing that. Oh, I see. So let's go down to the 3-minute, actually, just like you indicated. Let's go down to the 3-minute. Let me get rid of all these gaps, guys. It's just too much going on here. Boom. So, oh, wow. That is an excellent entry. Where was your stop loss? It's a great entry. So we can at least assume that this is what we got for Mr. May. And then Mozart was cooking since last week. He's probably making, I don't know, what do you make, an oxtail, bro? You've been cooking since last week. That's a hell of a meal, bro. All right, so Mozart, at least we can say he's somewhere there. And these are excellent trades, guys. K-Dot said 1 minute. Oh, K-Dot, you were the one that said FVG. Oh, shoot, for some reason I confused you with Mozart. So you're the one who said that the FVG was at that level. So, okay, so that wasn't you. That was K-Dot. I don't know how I missed that. K-Dot, what's your thing like? You're like blue. We'll do a blue for you. K-Dot. All right, and K-Dot's like where's the style at? K-Dot's thing is like a really light blue. Let's do like that. Yeah, that makes more sense. All right, yeah, the top of the. Okay, so Mr. May said today I entered on the 1 minute and it was so good. Is this your first time? Because if it is, welcome, bro. 1 minute is the best. Like snipers of snipers is 1 minute. Like I have some trades that are so beautiful to just look at. I'm gonna print them out and just post them in my office, bro. I promise you. 1 minute is the way to go. I'm just kidding, guys. You can trade whatever you want, but 1 minute is very lovely to trade on. Jeffrey said, do you use IFVGs? I do have a thing for it. I'll show you, right? Where is it at? Right? I do have a thing for it. I used to use it. I have seen a bit of like, not consistency, but I can see why people trade it. I just left it alone because my setup works for me. So to answer your question in the short run, no, I don't use them, but I am somewhat familiar with them as well. The top FVG is mine. Yeah, I realized that your FVG, you were over here. I'm gonna figure out which FVG it was though, later on. And then Mozart said, "Gumbo, bro." Gumbo. He's cooking gumbo. That's hilarious. He says, I shared in the Discord, bro, so you can check it out later and let me know what you think, fam. For sure. I appreciate you just doing that. You don't have to. And regardless of what I think, bro, you did a great job. You made money. It doesn't matter what I think, bro. Shout out to you. That is fire. Absolute fire. Samuel Daniel said, I'm still finding it hard to stick to one strategy as ICT confuses me more while I go through more of his videos. Yeah, so I said this before in a video with Marcus and people came for us. They're like, oh, the problem is the user. You're just dumb. You don't know what you're doing. You guys, for people who are new, it's a very complex thing. There's a lot of terminology, a lot of moving parts, and it does work. You know, the only thing I use for my ICT is fair value gaps. I just don't use anything else because when I had all those other things, it didn't work for me. When I just simplified it to those 3 things I tell you guys about, it worked for me. So, Sammy, I mean, we trade live every day almost, or at least we do back tests and analysis. So I'm hoping that maybe just you sticking around will help you to understand the markets more. But if it's confusing you, try to look at simpler things. The best traders I know, you literally trade support and resistance and like flags and channels and stuff like that. They trade retail strategies. You need to find what works for you.
My king, I'm leaving now.
Okay, baby, I appreciate you. Love you. Love you too, baby. Bye. So you need to find what works for you. Whatever strategy you find on the internet where you feel like, man, you know what? Even though it's not popular, it works for me. Just trade that, like study that, because trading is about your character and your personality. What resonates with you is what's going to help you to form a system and then follow that. If you're somebody, I'll give you an example. There are some people, I've said this before. There are some people, if they're buying, price has to be going up. Okay, like this. This is when they're confident to get into a buy. Me, I need price to be shooting towards the downside because I like to catch sniper entries. I want like the best entry before it goes up. So I'm happier when price is going down. If price is going up, I'm sad. I'm like, I missed the move. You see what I'm saying? So you might be like, oh, I need to enter when it's up. So if I tell you take these, you know what happens every time you try to take a trade the same way I do? You're gonna have anxiety because it's not you. You're not built like that, right? You're built a different way. So you got to figure out what resonates with you, what works for you, what helps your psychology, and everything else will fall in place. All right, so stick around. Welcome to the family, welcome to the channel, welcome to the live, and hopefully you can learn some things. We'll do a lot of analysis and backtesting. We have a lot of profitable, excellent traders in here. I'm sure they'll give you some pointers as well. All right, Mr. May says stop loss was at 1.10295. All right, Mr. May. Okay, cool. So that was his take profit, his entry, stop loss. Let's do stop loss. Okay, so he said, man, this is fire, bro. He said his was at 10295. 10295. Let's see where you at. Ooh. Oh, Mr. May, if I may, no pun intended. Excellent entry. He caught a 1 to 4 today too. Guys, let's clap it up for these guys in the chat. That is just like excellent traders. We had somebody, I think it was Bob last week, totally murdered the chart with like he was up 13%. I think it was Bob or someone else. Somebody killed it last week. So drop some fire emojis in the chat for those who are doing well, guys. If you support people, it comes back to you. So drop some fire emojis, some emojis, flames. I see people dropping hundreds. Shout out to y'all. Drop some encouraging stuff, some clapping, something, right? To show people some love and support. That is fire that you guys are hitting those. That is really, really amazing. Mozart said trading strategies is like a box of toys. All the toys work if you have to pick one that like Mozart. Maybe that's why your name was Mozart, bro. Maybe you should be Shakespeare, bro. That was some poetry right there, my boy. That was fire. Exactly. It's really all just different tools, different toys, if you will, that, you know what I mean? That you will find what works best for you. They all work. I say this all the time. I've seen somebody trade a bat. If you go on your chart, you see an elephant or a kangaroo or 2 chickens fighting, and it's profitable, trade the 2 chickens headbutting each other. That's where the money's at for you. Whatever works for you. Sam Dunn said, I understand. Wait, sorry. I think I missed somebody. Mr. May said, I had very bad psychology on 1 minute, so I don't really focus on, but today I messed up my psychology and made good money. Man, those could be dangerous because it'll be great and then you're gonna think you can do it again and you could get hurt. So please, yo, Mr. May, the next time you feel like doing something crazy, please type in the chat. We will hold you back. We'll be like, bro, don't do it, bro. We'll be like, don't do it. All right. Verd said, yo, good afternoon, guys. What's good, baby? Welcome back. Good to see you again. Mozart. Okay, people are dropping some flames, right? Zaki, Mozart, Professor, BL. That's what's up, guys. Drop some fire emojis for the people who are making it. Last week I was 2 for 3. So I lost one and won 2. Okay, the day I lost my trade, people were up like 9%. This is life. And then the couple days after that, I started hitting mine. This is life, bro. Cheer people on. Be excited for them, because when they're winning, you're gonna win too. Life is just like that, man. It's I think Steve Harvey said that his mom told him, if you see the mailman at your neighbor's house dropping off his mail, what does that mean for you? It means you're next. Okay, God finna bless you too, and give you your own if you just keep on putting in the work. All right, so don't give up, man. Cheer other people on. We have people in here doing really well. When you see somebody said I made 3%, 4% today, put fire emojis in the chat. Okay, I think it was K-Dot last week that said I'm down 3%. What do I get? Ice emojis. And we put ice emojis for K-Dot because that's what he wanted. But we're just a community, just all learning. Okay, I'm not a master. I should say this every time I start a live. I'm not a guru. I'm not a master. I'm not even a trading professional. I literally started my YouTube channel to just document my journey, so you guys can see what an average Joe, what his process is like. And by God's grace, I'm profitable, I'm funded, I'm all these things, right? So take with that, do with that what you will. But I'm here to just share what I know. That's all that it is. And Jeffrey put some laughing emojis. Sammy Daniel said, I started trading Forex and graduated my paid mentorship at June, but just learned the basics. So no strategy. It sucks. For a $300 class. Yeah, listen. Number one, congratulations on the graduation. But number two, this is think of it as a business. I hate to put it that way, but there's a lot of businesses I started before my wife and I started making these, building these businesses that do well. It was a lot of failure, a lot of failure. You spend thousands. We've taken out loans sometimes, right? By God's grace, we paid them back, but we've taken out loans and taken massive L's. So just understand that this whole journey is just going to cost you some money in the beginning, but you're just like one trade away from recouping all your losses. One funded account with one proper setup, you are set. That's really all that it goes. So don't be discouraged, all right? You're on the right path. Podcast Rival said, Professor, you're mixing up lessons and learning. Bird said, representing Mozambique. What's up, Mozambique, baby? That's so fire. Just found this channel, beginner here. Welcome. Join the Discord if you're new. We have lots of knowledgeable, profitable, just great human beings in the chat. It's not even about the money. It's just great people who are helping each other out. Nobody's negative in there. Everybody's supportive. It's fire. All right, if you're a beginner, we do this almost every day. Especially tomorrow and Tuesday, I'll be here longer because I don't trade on Tuesdays. So we do a lot of analysis, back testing, paper trades to show you guys, and live trades too. I show you guys when I'm in a position. Last week I showed you guys when I was up like 4K on one account, and I did that same trade on 2 other accounts. So you guys get to see some live trading as well. But I'm debating. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But welcome. FC Mozart said at Sammy Daniel, keep it up, simple, bro. And you keep it simple, bro, and you'll get your money back soon. 1,000%. All right, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Too many moving parts causes analysis paralysis. Keep it simple. Trading comes down to 3 things: market direction, a point of interest, and some sort of candlestick pattern you recognize to enter, or a signal that you can use to enter. That's it. You risk manage your trades properly, you'll be profitable even if your trades aren't the best. All right. Sammy said, though I've been trading binary for a while since. Oh, binary options. Boy, I did binary options. Maybe one day just for giggles, we should do binary options. I made money doing binary options, but I won't do it again. It's I have mixed reviews on it. So we'll talk about that next time. BL with the fire emoji. Shout out to you, BL, for being super supportive. Podcast Rival said, that's true, though. Lesson is someone who is telling you to do while learning is something you do for yourself. That's true, though. Lesson is someone who is telling you to do while learning is something you do for yourself. Bro, I might misunderstand your comment there. My brain is cooked, so forgive me. But can you just reword that a little bit for me? Because it seems like a supportive thing, like you're supporting the statement that I made, and I think this is also towards Sammy, but I could be completely wrong. But yeah, man, if what you're saying essentially is that while I'm telling you what I'm doing as I'm learning, you should be doing the same for yourself, I agree 1,000%. Right? I'm not an expert. I'll never claim to be. And even if I was claiming, you still have to do some work for yourself. You still got to figure it out for yourself, because you can take someone's strategy and still not be able to apply it because you have psychological walls that you have to break down and overcome, or find a system around it. So yeah. Mozart said, yeah, forget that. I lost so much money on binary. Yo, binary options, bro. Oh man. It's so addictive too. That's why, like I said, I've mixed reviews because to me it was kind of like gambling. But because it's so easy, you can choose 5 seconds, 15 seconds, half an hour, 30 seconds, whatever the case is. You can get into trade because all it has to do is either be above or below whatever you said. So if I bought, let's say right now, this is a perfect example. Let's say right now I bought, okay? This trade has to be, if my trade position was for 50 or let's say 30 seconds, that means whatever happens in 30 seconds, price has to either be above and it'll give me whatever I risk. So if I risk $50, I get the $50 plus 70% more, 80% more, 90% more, whatever the case is. In fact, let me see if I can open the, I don't want to derail the live. I don't want to derail the live. But long story short, it basically 30 seconds from here, in 30 seconds, if the trade is above that line, okay, then I would get my money. If it was below, I would lose my money. And the crazy thing about it is that when you risk the $50, you can only make up to, depending on what pair you're trading, up to 90% more. So on $50, that would be $36, $40, I think, right? So let's do 90% of 50 would be probably $40 or 45. Anyways, 50 minus 90%. Yeah, there you go. So it would be $45 you would get, okay? So that means that every time I'm risking more than I'm making. I risk $50 to make $45. So I get to keep my 50 that I spent, right, that I risked, but I also made 45. So your risk to reward is automatically negative. But when you see you just made $45 in 10 seconds, you're like, oh my God. And you go buy and sell and buy. And you know what ends up happening? The money that you made goes right back. It's really crazy. You could trade it like Forex, but the psychology just isn't there for that. It's just weird. It's really hard to trade it the same way. So yeah, let's see. Where are we right now? Mr. May said, I also do binary, but it's more like a casino, not trading. You see? Exactly. All right. It's more like a casino. It's not really trading, in my opinion, as well. All right. So let's see. I think we were on UJ. No, Euro USD. So let me get out of this so we can see what's going on here. Oh, but look at this. This is the 3-minute. Boy, that almost finessed me because look, my setup, right? 1, 2. This isn't enough for me. Up, down. Guess what I'm doing? I'm in here and I might take another position up there and I'm going towards the downside. That's what I would do. But that's the 3-minute. Let's see what's going on the 1 minute. It's kind of the same, to be honest. So I'm just going to put in something here just to see what would happen. Now, mind you, we're kind of in here blindly, right? We don't even know why we're going down. There's nothing that tells me I should be entering sells. I'm just showing you how the pattern plays out. But I have no reason to be selling. I should be looking for a place to buy, not selling. But I just want to show you guys real quick what that's like. Sanjan said, I would have come around, bro. I've been following you since through live free FX. Me? Me or somebody else you're talking in the chat? You're talking to in the chat. Just help me clarify that. Mozart said, then you get addicted and trade more and lose. Exactly. Exactly. You do that and you just get cooked all the time. You see what I'm saying? So it gets super crazy. So anyhow, guys, I just looked up at the time. I started to see my phone was going off. So my timer for this session is actually over, guys. I'm sorry, but we're going to be back tomorrow Tomorrow, I should be in here around 9 o'clock because I don't trade on Tuesdays. So I'll be doing free analysis for you guys. If you guys have some pairs and stuff that you guys want me to analyze, if you have some trade ideas, if you guys want to throw out some stuff out there, we're going to be having a lot of fun tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow. But for today, my session is done at 11. Then I got to go take care of all the other businesses and stuff like that. And guys, remember, next week I'm not here. Next week I'm leaving for a whole week. So I have to put in as much work as possible to make sure everything is set up, everything's good for you guys. You guys have things to watch. And then, you know what I mean? That way in my absence, everything's good. By the way, I told you guys that when we hit 1K, I'm going to do some sort of a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. All right. For those of you who are joining the live, try and be here every day. I'm organizing. It's nothing crazy. Guys, I'm not rich. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got it like that. I ain't rich. I always laugh when I see people doing stuff like this on the internet because you have no idea what the money's for. You see what I'm saying? Like, I could show you all the hundreds and all that stuff, but the point is that this money that's here, it's actually for something else. It's on my desk for a reason. It's not for me to flex. It's for me to go pay something. So I always, yeah, I mean, some people got it like that, but I just find it funny. But anyways, we're gonna be doing a giveaway. I'm not rich, but something just to show the community. I'm gonna see if I do one or a couple, but I just wanted to just appreciate everybody who has been following me so far. We hit 1K. I started this channel in, I think, early this year, either January or late December of 2023, right? So it's been, give or take, 8 months. But the love and the feedback I receive, I really appreciate you guys. So tomorrow, we'll be here for sure, and at some point this week, hopefully before I leave on vacation, I will be able to do the giveaway live. By the way, right? It's not gonna be no, hey, enter this thing and then you don't know. No, I'm gonna spin the wheel on the internet live for you guys to see, who's doing what. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, look at this trade. Ooh. Right? So yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna be here. I'm just gonna read some of the chats real quick before I dip. It says, Simon said, I followed your page for a while through Live Free FX on YouTube search list. Oh, I see. Well, I appreciate the support, bro. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for supporting since back then. I really appreciate you. Welcome, like I said, to the family. We love to have you here. Bob said, bad week for me already, but I'm only down 1K. That's fine. Is this on a 100K account or like something smaller? If it's on 100K, bro, you're down 1%. You'll get it back. I was down recently like almost 3-4%, and I made it all back. So I've open trade, so I'm okay. It should hit. There you go. You guys, you'll get it on the next one. That's trading. Okay, you'll get it on the next one. Now that I have won a trade this week already, I'm gonna be very picky about what I take on the next following days because I don't have to rush. All right, so it happens. And I think it was Bob. Bob last week was cooking the market. He was Gordon Ramsaying the market, just flipping that bad boy, filleting. He was going off last week on 100K. There you go. So you're only down 1%. You see what I'm saying? Last week, I think it was Bob. Bob was going nuts in the market. You see what I'm saying? And then this week, he has minus 1%. It doesn't matter. He'll make it. He's obviously profitable, so his risk reward should be also positive. He's going to make it back on the next one. And even if he loses the next 2, 3, I'm sure his strategy, if he's risking at least a minimum 1 to 2, will allow him to take those losses and still he'd be able to make them back up and some. All right, guys. There's a saying that when it's good, people forget that it's going to be bad again. And when it's bad, people forget it's going to be good again. That's life. Life is just like the charts, guys. It doesn't go straight up or straight down. It does this. Up a little, down a little. Up a little, down a little. That's life. All right? Ups and downs. But if you stay consistent, everything will work out for your good. All right? So he said this one should be a 1 to 6. There you go. Bob out here cooking the markets. All right, so guys, I love each and every one of you guys. I always appreciate all of this. Join the Discord if you're new. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to catch you guys on the next one. All right, see you guys tomorrow, 9 to 11. We're gonna try and aim for 9 to 11. If you're in the Discord, I'll put an official time, but we're aiming for 9 to 11. All right, love each and every one of you guys. Happy trading, and I pray that God blesses you guys with a really amazing, profitable week. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.